My parents have 4 kids already. Me, nearly adult male, my younger sister a young teen, my younger brother a tween, and my youngest sister a young tween. My parents have relied on me heavily to take care of my siblings. Started when I was still too young to do much, but they put them in my room if a nightmare happened, and after each sibling was 6 months old, they started sharing a room with me until they were 3. Then it got me to prepare something for my younger siblings to eat. It was also staying at home with them while Mum went shopping, and over time it evolved. I help with homework, I make sure they're awake for school, I walk them to school since I don't have a car, I feed them, and most of the time I'm the one they come to if they need help with something. My parents will drop them off at birthday parties or at friends' houses. They'll take us out for family experiences, but admittedly expect me to keep an eye on my siblings. My parents provide the food, house and clothes. I provide the emotional stuff. I don't love doing it, but I got so used to it that it became second nature. I'm still the person my younger sister comes to if she has a nightmare or is afraid of anything during the night. My parents learned they were pregnant again 5 months ago, and they told me and my siblings last month. It was very much talked about, like I would have the baby with me in my room from the start and should learn how to change diapers independently. I made it clear from the start that I wasn't raising their next kid for them. I told them I had more responsibility for my 3 siblings than I should have ever had, but I wasn't going to skip my own life to raise an infant from the start. My parents were shocked. They tried to get one of my younger siblings on board, but they said no way. They didn't want to be responsible like me. My parents returned to me with the topic and asked what the heck they were meant to do, and they never expected me to reject a sibling like this. I said I rejected raising another one of their kids, not a sibling. But also, I'll be out of the house in 7 months. I won't be around the new sibling as much, and the relationship might not be the same. I told them I didn't want the same relationship either. I don't want to be a parent to another sibling. They made it pretty clear they don't want to do the actual child raising, and they're living a nightmare over this. When the topic came up during the last week, I told them they needed to place the baby for adoption, since they wouldn't have a good childhood with nobody wanting to raise them. I told my parents it would be the kindest thing to do if they refused to raise the baby themselves. My parents accused me of treating adoption flippantly, and they were sort of outraged. I would rather they place the baby for adoption than for me to step up and raise this one too. Am I the idiot? They were sort of outraged. I would rather they place their baby for adoption than for me to step up and raise this one too. The complete lack of self-awareness and accountability. They need to think this, let alone say it, is mind-boggling. Not the idiot, OP. Plan for your escape now. They are living a nightmare. Imagine creating a child and then having to care for it. What a surprise. No one ever told us when we became parents we have responsibility. I can't fathom that these people exist. And they waited until it was too late to tell you and your siblings because it was a choice to keep it. Remember that. Escape and live your best life. Seriously, get out of the house as soon as you can. When they're both out of the house, look for your important documents, birth certificate, social security card, stuff like that, so they can't keep them from you as a way of punishing you for not being their live-in nanny anymore. Get a job outside school hours and get out of the house as much as you can the remainder of your time there. Also, you'll want to try to get therapy and learn about normal sibling boundaries. Your siblings will reach out to you to provide for them once they realize how little is left at home without you there. It's not that they want to hurt you, it's just survival for them, and you'll have to be able to say no. That is no easy thing. So as soon as you can, get therapy with the aim of learning appropriate sibling boundaries in a situation where you've been parentified for years by the actual parents. Move far, far away for a few years. Good luck to you. My fiancé, male 28, and I, female 28, are set to be married next winter. We got engaged on June 23rd and decided on the wedding date in advance for everyone's convenience. We've been dating for 10 years and have been saving up for the wedding for 5 years to afford an extravagant wedding in a palace in India, and we finally made those arrangements. My husband's sister has always been a golden child. She always got what she asked for, as opposed to my husband, who they treat like a cash cow. Every time his mother needs anything expensive, he's the first call she makes. I try not to get between them, but she's never shown any interest in his life. Coming to the wedding, we sent out save the dates so people can plan their holidays, plans way in advance. My sister-in-law got married 3 years ago. It was a nice wedding, but not as fancy as ours. When she knew about the plans, she started finding problems in everything to a point where my husband asked her to stop interfering. Last week we got a call from her, excited to tell us that she was pregnant and expecting a child at our wedding. Both of us were shocked but happy for her and congratulated her. She then said, "So you can just come home to get married at the City Hall. I would need help with the baby." I was baffled and told her the wedding was still on and her having a child didn't change our wedding plans. She threw a fit when I said that and hung up. Later that day, his mom called and told us to postpone the wedding for 6 months so his sister could attend it, and if we didn't then she wouldn't attend either, and that her daughter's pregnancy was a bigger event than our stupid marriage. My husband was upset and chose not to respond, but I lost my temper. I told her that if my sister-in-law prioritised her pregnancy over our marriage, we were not obligated to prioritise her pregnancy over our happiness. My husband's speechless and we don't know what to do. Am I the idiot for not postponing the wedding? Not the idiot. The cynic in me thinks it's a ploy by your sister-in-law to see how far you'll jump if she says higher. I hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if something goes sideways with the pregnancy if you change your wedding date. Either way, you don't need to arrange your wedding because your sister-in-law can't make it. And the drama won't stop there either. Your mother-in-law will need to go to where she is so she can be there for your sister-in-law in her time of need. Carry on with your plans, but don't know how to meet their unreasonable requests and demands. She then said, "So you can just come home to get married at the City Hall. I would need help with the baby." I have no words for that request. Your in-laws have obviously made it clear who the favourite is. Hint, it isn't your husband. Your husband needs to stop letting them use him as an ATM. You're assuming sister-in-law is actually pregnant. Once the wedding is postponed, she could have been planning a tragedy. What are the chances she got pregnant on the one cycle that would put the due date at the same time as a wedding? Really, since the mom and sis won't come on the day anyway, I would test your theory. It sounds plausible. I would tell them they cancelled the date and don't have a new one yet. Wait 1 or 2 months for the sad baby announcement, then be very happy my original date was still open. I think sis just doesn't want them to have a nicer wedding or isn't willing to spend the money to come. I've been best friends with Dave for about 17 years. We became friends in middle school. He married at 26 and I was the best woman at this wedding. His wife, Emma, has never liked me. I only met her a few times so far and each time she's cold and snappy. I invited him and his wife to a get-together at the beach. In total, it was a group of 9 people. Emma has been snappy towards me the whole trip. It got to the point where people asked me what was up with it. It was also some people's first time meeting her, and they didn't have a good opinion of her. We were at the beach and everyone was just relaxing. I noticed we were out of drinks and I was going to the car to grab some more. I asked everyone if they wanted anything specific. I asked Dave. Emma chimed in and told me that he could get it himself and didn't need a half-dressed server. I was in a bikini. At this point I had enough and told her, "I get it, you're insecure and I find it quite sad." This started an argument and she accused me of trying to steal her husband, and me pointing out we'd been friends for years, that I don't want to sleep with him and never have. Some think I shouldn't have gone for the throat, even if it was obvious what her issue was. Emma wants an apology. Dave hasn't given me an opinion. Not the idiot. This is a Dave problem. He doesn't get to not have an opinion. Either he needs to establish new boundaries with you to make his wife more comfortable, can't really judge that without hearing an impartial version of events, or he needs to talk to his wife about being rude to his friends, or potentially both. He doesn't get to not take sides, or he deserves to be single and friendless. Right now he's hanging everyone out to dry. LOL, I'm just imagining Dave in his own little world at the beach while all this was going down. What was he doing this whole time? Maybe she is insecure, but you don't know what led her to be like that. Maybe it's her own problem, or maybe Dave is feeding that insecurity somehow. Hence, his wife is insecure because Dave doesn't offer much security. The real idiot here is Dave. Is he really your friend? I would never let my best friend get picked on like this. If he doesn't address it, then it's up to you, and you addressed it. If he has an issue with that, once again he can open his trap and use his words to solve this issue. He made his choice, and you have the right to stand up for yourself. End of story. No apology is needed. About 11 months ago, I, male 28, found out that my girlfriend, 24, was cheating on me. We'd been together for 4 years and lived together for almost 2. I thought we had a great relationship. We got along well, had regular weekly dates, travelled a lot together, and had tons of plans for our future together. We'd even talked about me proposing as soon as she got her finances in order. I found out she was sleeping with a guy who's friends with a best friend's boyfriend. I told her to kick rocks and that I never wanted to see her again. She went on and moved in with that best friend and her boyfriend. During that time, she never told her family that we'd broken up or no longer lived together. A few weeks after she moved out, she reached out and told me that she was pregnant and that she was certain that it was mine because the time she cheated they used protection. For context, my pop passed when I was a child and I have very few memories of him. As a result, my family struggled and it affected me for a long time. I told her that when the kid is born and it's confirmed as mine, I'll take care of everything. Until then, leave me alone. A few weeks later we met up and she swore on everything that the baby was mine and said that I should help cover maternity and pregnancy stuff. I told her to keep receipts of everything she spent on pregnancy and maternity supplies. After the child is born, if it's mine, I'll cut you a check to cover all expenses. If it's not, then we can part ways. She agreed. She then proceeded to get a midwife and a doula for herself, both pretty expensive. She decided on a home birth. Comes time and the baby came early and there were complications. She was rushed to the hospital for an emergency C-section and the baby was kept in those wards where they keep newborns who can't survive alone. On the day of birth I went to see her and a nurse took me to see the baby. 2 weeks ago she sent me receipts for everything. It totaled over $40,000 and she asked for money to pay the doula and midwife. I said let's wait for DNA results. Well, it turns out I'm not the father. I told her I'm sorry but she's on her own. She cried and said she and the child would be ruined if I didn't step up and help them. She went on about how we could have a successful relationship together and raise the kid and how she's matured and will be a good partner. I told her I had no interest in raising someone else's child and to call on the real father. Well, the guy is broke and is a cashier at the local store. Now everyone in her family is trying to convince me to at least pay off the $40,000 before going our separate ways. I said no. Am I the idiot for refusing to step up here? Not the idiot. She made decisions based on her assumptions. So far, she's shown she isn't interested in a real long-term relationship with you. She dug herself a hole and is now asking you to get her out of it. You are not responsible for her or her actions. Her family are the idiots for asking you. She's the one who caused the breakup. You were not living together when she incurred the debts, and they're due to her pregnancy with another guy. If they're concerned, ask why they are not able to pay. Please do so publicly. Control the narrative or she will soon say you abandoned her and your son. The moment she cheated on you, she was no longer your responsibility. The moment you knew the kid wasn't yours, he was no longer your responsibility. Let people know about these facts. Still, there will be people telling you to be the better man. Just don't. Screw them. She wasn't the better woman when she decided to sleep with another guy behind your back. So it's not your problem. Also, she could have gotten a DNA test long before making any serious decisions. Sounds like she knew all along and was trying to railroad you into raising the child. Did you look at the birth certificate and see what it states for father? If she listed you, get a lawyer. You may need to take some steps to protect yourself. Please, check. Update. I don't know much about these things. I wasn't aware until recently that paternity could be determined in the womb. I had to lawyer up. She's still pushing the deadbeat dad narrative and painting me as the bad guy. I've had to clarify this with a few people already. So all of this happened about a month ago. My husband and I, male 29 and female 27, threw a party and all of our family and friends came over. Among them were my sister, 30, and her son, a young teen. There were about 40 people there, including a few children and my young toddler's son. So we had fireworks, and I'm already not the biggest fan of them. My nephew was very excited to light a few off, but his mom and dad both told him no. He kept messing with them even when it was still light out. So at about 6 p.m. everyone says we can start lighting them. I said okay, and I walked into our backyard because my son was playing in his backyard area with some of his cousins. I was going to get the kids inside. As I was walking, I was hit with a firework. It primarily hit my shoulder, chest area. At first it didn't hurt because I was just so confused about what happened. But as soon as my husband grabbed me yelling, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" It was excruciating. I'm fine now, but I ended up getting so many medications, surgery, and another 6 months of doctor appointments. I stayed in the hospital for 2 days. It was my nephew who had accidentally hit me, the young teen. He was messing around with his dad's lighter and didn't realize it was a Roman candle firework that was going to fly. When my husband told me that, I was absolutely damn angry. I told my sister 1,000,000 times to be careful and make him be careful, and she didn't watch him or stop him. I was literally walking to get my baby. What would have happened if I was walking back with him on my hip? Of course, I got an apology right away from my sister. I didn't take it. A few weeks after surgery, I finally received an apology from my nephew. It was half-baked and obvious his parents made him. I told my sister that, as of now, I do not accept her apology or her son's. I'm so damn angry and terrified of what would have happened if I'd had my son in my arms. My husband agrees. He's madder than I am. My sister called me and was crying. She said, "I'm so sorry," and all that. I feel a little bad, and I was like, "Listen, you're my sister. You're always going to be my sister. I love you, but right now I cannot speak with you. I need space." She called me a witch. Am I the idiot for this? Not the idiot. Sister, dramatic wailing, "I'm so sorry, sob, sob." OP, "I love you, but I'm angry with you." Sister, "You witch, how dare you not forgive me after I said the magic words?" I'm amazed she didn't say, "This hurt me more than it hurt you." Let her pay the medical bill. OP needs to retain an attorney immediately. Anything serious enough to require surgery can easily have lifelong consequences. That may well need cash and a lot of it to manage around. Blah 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 family, but the idiot family messed around with fireworks and seriously hurt OP. This is real life, and lots of injuries can never be fixed, merely managed. An accident when I was young won me lifelong unfixable pain. Are your sister and her husband idiots for not supervising their child? Yes. She's mad because she knows she's up. Let her stew. Honestly, fireworks at home are just stupid and asking for injuries. You know that now. Even if you have strict rules and cordon off an area and a bunch of other requisite safety things to pretend you're smarter than Murphy's Law, it's still pretty stupid.